Today is Monday, so that means another mock draft coming right up. And what is everyone? Welcome to the Gridiron Fantasy Football YouTube channel. And today is Monday, July 19th, 2021. And I'm Chip, I'm your host, and thank you so much for tuning in today. And today we're doing another mock draft to help prep, try to help prep you guys for your drafts coming up. The last couple of weeks I've been doing a half PPR format. A couple of weeks ago I did a half PPR, pretty much like a running back heavy strategy, kind of a strategy I do when it comes to my leagues and my drafts. And then last week I wanted to do a draft that was zero running back strategy, where I picked the top, my top 4 picks were either a receiver or a tight end. So I wanted to kind of see what team I would be able to come out with that type of strategy. And now today we're doing something different. We're going to do a 12-team standard league format to kind of see what we come up with today. So generally, these are the drafts where players like Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, and even like Chris Carson are more valuable because they bring that. Really, it's only game for receiving yards, for rushing yards, and touchdowns. The guys like Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, those guys are still valuable because they're really high volume running backs, but the value is a little different when it comes to like going after. If you got Derrick Henry and someone like Alvin Kamara, that's a very tough pick. I would probably go with Derrick Henry because he's, double-digit touchdowns. He ran for over 2,000 yards last year. So like, that's the type of guy that you want on your team. But Alvin Kamara still has value too. So that's something where you would struggle because in a PPR format, for me, Alvin Kamara is a top Derrick Henry. I'll pick Alvin Kamara over Derrick Henry every single day. But it's one of those things where in a standard format that's a little different. So let's go ahead and see what type of team we come up with. We got the 3rd spot, so we probably are able to get Derrick Henry in this draft this early, but we don't know. I mean, this happens all the time where you try do a mock draft to kind of help against the computer, and then they pick something random that you wouldn't expect, and that's why we do it. So let's go ahead and start the draft to kind of see what we come up with going forward. So here we go. So the first pick overall, Dalvin Cook. That's surprising to me because Christian McCaffrey for everyone's consensus number 1 running back. But I've seen Derrick Henry go number 1 in mock drafts. I've seen Dalvin Cook. I've seen even Patrick Mahomes go number 1. So kind of craziness there. But now it's our pick. So we have an option at running back. Obviously, I'm taking running back number 1. We got Barkley, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara. Like I said, I think in a format like this, I like Derrick Henry. Saquon Barkley, there's unknown because he come off an ACL injury. I think based on his ability to come back from that type of injury is there, so I'm not concerned. But I do tend to stay away from players who come off of a major surgery like that. So then it comes down to Derrick Henry and then Alvin Kamara. So we just talked about this in the beginning of the video, is that this is options that people are going to have. Now, Derrick Henry, very good, and when it comes to being in a standard league because it's about yardage and touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, he's more of a PPR guy. He averages about 82, 83 receptions per year. He's not a big volume guy when it comes to yardage, just because he shares time. And then you got the dynamic of Taysom Hill there. So this for me is where I'm going to lean Derrick Henry in this pick, just because the Saints offense really unsure of what's going on with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. If you watch any of my mock drafts when I do this, it's always been my reasoning for it, because I think the Titans offense will be better with Julio Jones. I think more scoring opportunities, and Derrick Henry gets all the goal line work. So I'm going to take Derrick Henry here with the number 1 pick, and let's see what happens on the turnaround. So then you got, not surprising, the first 8 picks were all running backs. That's going to be pretty much every draft. Tyreek Hill goes first as the first wide receiver off the board. Then you got Devontae Adams and then Stephon Diggs, which those are going to be the 3 top guys that go in most drafts too. Then Aaron Jones follows Stephon Diggs and closes out the first round at 12. And then you got the first 2 top tight ends off the board with Kelsey and Kittle. Metcalf went before AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, and Justin Jefferson. That's weird to me, but this is standard formats. I mean, this is something that something that you see in PPR formats all the time may seem odd when you see something different in standard. So now it's our pick again at the 210. Now I have my option. I usually like going running back heavy, so let's see what's here at running back. There's Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift, Miles Sanders, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, J.K. Dobbins. I really don't like any of those guys in standard format. I mean, Joe Mixon would be the guy that I probably like the most. Let's see at wide receiver. Well, Najee Harris, I like him, but I think I can get him on the turnaround. Okay, you got Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin. You know, I'm going to go ahead because I actually like Najee Harris a lot more than some of these other running backs available. I'm going to go, I like Calvin Ridley. I'm going to go Calvin Ridley here, my first pick for wide receiver. You got Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, Patrick Mahomes goes at the 3-2. So now it's my option. Do I want to go have two really good running backs, or do I want to go with top wide receivers? Man, I feel like Allen Robinson and Terry McLaurin are my only really two options there that I would consider. Joe Mixon, man, there are some good guys here that I can probably, because of standard leagues. Do I try to test if Najee Harris will be there on the turnaround? He probably won't be. Let's see. Wide receiver, there's some good guys here, but it kind of thins out a little bit. So I'm gonna go Allen Robinson because of pure volume here. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna go Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin because I trust Ryan Fitzpatrick over Justin Fields or Nick Foles. I know Allen Robinson's got a lot of targets, but it's all about how the offense is going to produce. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is he slings. He's a gunslinger. I'm gonna go Terry McLaurin with my second wide receiver for my team. Let's see what happens here when it comes to the turnaround. I have no shot at Najee Harris. Yep, there he goes. Let's see. And that's the risk you take. You want two really good wide receivers, or you go for running back. You know, these are the things you do. That's why you practice these mock drafts. Now's my chance again at the running back or for my position here at the 410. And you know, if you watch my last video I did on my sleepers, I like Myles Gaskin a lot. I like him over my options here when it comes to Melvin Gordon, Chase Edmonds. He's one of my sleepers this year. What I'm going to do, because I already got my two wide receivers. I mean, I do like CeeDee Lamb a lot, but let's see. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to choose Myles Gaskin and have a second it's all about volume. I think Myles Gaskin, is going to be a very good running back this year. I mean, I was going to take CeeDee Lamb, but he's already got taken. Let's see. So I can go wide receiver heavy and get Adam Thielen. You know, Odell Beckham's there. You know, Cooper Kupp's there. But like I said, a lot of these guys like Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, Odell. You know, not very much Odell, but these are guys that are big in PPR formats. Let's see. There's some guys I can probably get later on in the draft that I do like at wide receiver. Let's see what's at running back. See what the tier level is here. Because if I'm drafting someone like Chase Edmonds, I'm betting on him being one of those sleepers this year and being a guy that will be a guy who gets drafted really late and then gives you RB1 numbers. Mike Davis is still down there. I like Mike Davis too. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to solidify my wide receiver position and have a really good flex with Adam Thielen there. So I'm going to take Adam Thielen. And let's see who I can get running back on the turnaround in the 6th round. And when it comes to like picking quarterbacks, you know, you probably hear from a lot of analysts that picking quarterbacks super early in the draft is really, in that one quarterback league, is really not the way to go, because there's a lot of talent that you're just leaving on the draft board. So let's see. I mean, from a quarterback standpoint, there's a lot of good options here. And I got a pretty solid starting lineup so far, so I'm not really worried about quarterback probably for another couple picks. Now when it comes to wide receiver and running back, you know, Damien Harris, a lot of people are talking about Damien Harris being that RB1 for New England. I don't like buying the hype in that, because we've never seen that always come into fruition, because there can be one running back there was a few years ago, there was a running back that was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and then it was inactive the next week. So for the Patriots, this was years ago, and I can never trust. The only person I really trust for the Patriots is James White, but Leonard Fournette, Zach Moss, Kenyon Drake, Mike Davis. So I know I can probably get Mike Davis on a turnaround. Leonard Fournette, I like Leonard Fournette over Ronald Jones this year. At wide receiver, I got Juju, DJ Chark, Chase Claypool, Will Fuller, Tyler Boyd, Robbie Anderson. I really don't like any of these. What's that tight end right now? Nah, I don't like tight end either. Quarterback wise, see, this is where you have to make this decision. Do I want to go for a quarterback now because there's a good one on the board? Because I'm not really seeing a lot that I like here at running back position for me to pick right now. Other than Mike Davis. Mike Davis is the first guy that pops out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Mike Davis now, just so I can get my third running back and have 3 wide receivers and kind of see what I do from this spot here. Let's see. Now it's the 7th round. I still got a lot of picks to go. I'm not gonna go. I'm not even, all the Titans I would want are already gone. So let's see. I'm gonna go one more pick until I pick a quarterback. Wide receiver wise, Juju. I'm gonna go ahead and for depth, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Juju right now, just because I already have my 3. I got 3 really good wide receivers, and it's always nice to have good depth on your roster, especially when you're in between picks and you're really trying to figure out where to go when it comes to running back or wide receiver. And like I said, I don't get a quarterback too early in these drafts, but good thing about it, if Juju has a good season, you need to trade because you have an injury or just trying to get a better roster, then it's trade based. So always, don't be afraid to pick up players because of that. So you always want to make sure that you're able to get out some players via trade or whatnot. So you got to think about that as well. You're trying to build the best roster you can on draft day, and generally you're not going to win your draft obviously in the draft room, so you have to make these moves as your season progresses. So it's just nice to have really good depth when it comes to that. Now it's my turn at the 8-10. Now this is where I'm going to consider a quarterback. Well, tight end. I mean, tight end right here. Like I said, I got Calvin Ridley. Do I really want to go after Kyle Pitts? I don't think this is necessarily a reach for Kyle Pitts here. I mean, you have Kelsey, Kittle, Hawkinson, Waller, and so a lot of people drafted like Noah Fant would for him, Logan Thomas. So I actually think this is pretty good value for Kyle Pitts, because he's a guy that is in the top 5 in most rankings, and to get him at the 8-10, that's a steal. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Kyle Pitts here, and then see what we have available at quarterback on the turnaround. Connor goes, James Conner goes, got Hunting goes, then Jerry Jeudy, then you got Devin Singletary. So it's our pick again at the 9-3. So looking at quarterback, you got Tom Brady, Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow. I mean, I think based on my roster, I feel like I have 2 good running backs. I got four really decent receivers. I probably could go running back here and maybe go for some depth. But looking at we got Nyheim Hines. He's really only good, he's like a James White. Latavius Murray, I mean, if I had Alvin Kamara, then I can see myself going after someone like him just for my insurance. Tony Pollard. There's a lot of guys that are almost like, okay, the only guy that sticks out to me that I'm going to go for, I think I can wait for, is Michael Carter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my quarterback now. I'll go ahead and draft Tom Brady here. And then my next pick, if he's available, is going to be Michael Carter. I really do think he's going to have a big season for the Jets. So he's a guy that's on my radar for all my leagues. And let's see what happens. All right, so we got a few quarterbacks go. We got Tannehill, Burrow, Stafford, Ryan goes. Marquise Brown, we got Lindsey, Cohen, and then Gallup. So it's our pick again. They say the best available right now is Devontae Smith for the Eagles, the rookie. I'm not a big fan. I don't think he has a lot to offer right now. I want to see kind of how he does in the preseason, because a lot of us, unfortunately, our league drafts in the first week of March, or I'm sorry, the first week of August. So some of these guys I won't be able to see in preseason, so I got to take a hunch on some of these guys. But generally, I feel like rookie wide receivers, they tend to have a harder time transitioning to the NFL. So unless it's Jamar Chase, some of these guys I'm just not going to touch. I want to kind of wait and see. So options here for running back, like I said, there's Gus Edwards, Jamal Williams, and then Michael Carter. So I'm going after Michael Carter because I feel like he's going to be the starter. So he's going to be my third running back. I'm sorry, he's going to be my fourth running back. And then now back on the turnaround for us. This is where you got kind of go best player available. I'm not going to draft another. I won't draft in the rules of, and you're in a one quarterback league and you only play one tight end, unless you're able to get like some reason there's players that you wanted in the first couple rounds and you're able to get like a Kelsey Waller if you want to double up, because some people have flexes that you can play tight end. I generally don't draft a second tight end or a second quarterback. That's just something that I feel like in a one quarterback league, you're going to string quarterbacks a lot, you're going to string tight ends a lot, especially defensive kickers. So there's just some guys that you just don't need to worry about too much. So when it comes to me, like quarterback wise, don't need another one. Running back wise, this is where you got to try to find those breakout guys that could be potential league winners. And looking at the wide receivers, you got Mike Williams there. I think that with Hunter Henry being gone, Mike Williams had a chance to actually get more targets. He and Keenan Allen were like very close in red zone and end zone targets last year. So it was just Keenan Allen's one that converted those into touchdowns. But I'm going to take Mike Williams here for depth. I really think he's going to have a good season. And then, I may have actually go after Antonio Brown on the turnaround. Nope, never mind, he's gone. Let's see here. All right. The one guy that I was trying to get was Sermon it's the rookie for the running back for the 49ers. Like, he's a guy that I potentially could be a good value pick there. Let's see. Now it's my turn at the 12-10. Got 3 more picks. So obviously the last pick is going to be a defense. So I got 2 more depth picks here. So we got Henry Ruggs, Cole Beasley, Darius Slayton, Darnell Mooney. You have to really go for depth. Any guys that could possibly break out. Going to the running back position, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. So I don't want to get another running back. Let's see at wide receiver. I got 4 wide receivers. So I'm gonna go Henry Ruggs. See if he can break out in the second season. Now it's me on the turnaround. So at the 13-3. Let's see. Marlon Mack, Tevin Coleman. I got Michael Carter, so it wouldn't. I could grab Tevin Coleman too and see who is the starter. So like a lot of talk saying Michael Carter will be the starter for the Jets, but then we got Tevin Coleman available. Possibly I can have either or. It could be one of the starting running backs, so I can have my options here. This is what you do when you come to the last 2 picks of the draft. I don't see any names that really stick out to me that could possibly be breakouts based on opportunity. Marlon Mack. You got Jonathan Taylor there. You got Nyheim Hines. Marlon Mack he could be your handcuff. I'm gonna go ahead and take Tevin Coleman here just because I have Michael Carter. So if one of these emerges as the top running back for the Jets, I have them, and then it's depth, right? So or it's trade bait. So I want Tevin Coleman there. So now it's going to be our last pick of the actual draft, and I'm going to go defense. And unless you're going to find one of these top defenses in like Washington or maybe even the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Steelers, maybe Rams, like you're going to string defenses unless you're able to get your hands on the top fantasy defense in the season. So my options are Broncos, Bills, Browns, Seahawks, Saints. Looking at these initial teams, the Browns have a week 13 bye week. not necessarily a bad thing if you can pick a good defense. I mean, they just got Clowney, they got Myles Garrett. I mean, this is looks like a pretty stout defense. So I'll just go ahead and pick up the Cleveland Browns here as my last pick for a defense. And if they suck, then you just drop it and pick up someone new and stream someone new. All right, so that is what we got for our standard league draft. So in a 12-team league with the 3rd overall pick, this is our roster. We have at quarterback Tom Brady, running backs we got Derrick Henry, Myles Gaskin, wide receiver Calvin Ridley, Terry McLaurin, at tight end Kyle Pitts. Our flex right now there's Adam Thielen. Defense is the Cleveland Browns. And our bench, I mean, I don't think our bench is really that bad. I mean, we got Juju, we got Michael Carter, Mike Williams, Henry Ruggs, Tevin Coleman. The hope is Mike Davis turns into what everyone hopes to do, because he has a big opportunity in Atlanta that could definitely be a very good value there. Could be possibly he finished as the top 12 running back last year, and with him having now the starting role and really no competition, it has the most unaccounted for carries for that Falcons team. I mean, I can't imagine why Mike Davis could not be another top 12 running back, and he's not being drafted there. Juju, he's a good player to put in there if you need a flex and matchups, and he has a decent season. Michael Carter, potentially, him and Tevin Coleman potentially be starters, so you got a starter there. Mike Williams is the number 2 in Los Angeles, so a decent pick there. So Henry Ruggs, he's a wild card. He's a guy he's a speed guy, and like I said, it's all about depth. So that is it for our draft. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment below, and I'm gonna do these every Monday. So next week, I'll probably go back to a half PPR or maybe a full PPR format. I know there's gonna be one of them that I'm gonna do is gonna be a 2-quarterback full PPR format as well. So check back next Monday to see that episode. And tomorrow I'm dropping another video on my caution players for 2021, so don't miss that. So hit subscribe so you see that video tomorrow, or on Tuesday. So take care, and we'll see you on Tuesday.